Hey everyone, ready to boost your online communication skills in English?
I know I am.
We're diving deep today into some really cool strategies to help you sound confident and avoid any embarrassing mistakes online.
Whether you're gearing up for meetings with colleagues around the world or just want to level up your everyday English in the digital world.
This deep dive is for you.
Absolutely.
And to guide us on this journey, we've got some fantastic insights from the English with Marco and Erica podcast.
Such a fun and practical podcast. They really break things down in a way that anyone can understand.
Totally. And you know what really struck me?
What's that?
How they start the episode by talking about their own online habits. Erica actually admits to spending almost 4 hours a day on social media.
Wow.
Oh.
4 hours.
I know, right? It's a lot. But then again, I started thinking about my own habits, and I realized maybe it's not that surprising after all.
It's true. I mean, think about it. Social media is everywhere these days. It's how we connect with friends and family, stay up to date on news, and even do business.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which is why it's more important than ever to have a good grasp of social media vocabulary.
Oh, definitely. You need to know the lingo if you want to navigate the online world effectively.
So let's jump right into some of that essential vocab, shall we? Marco and Erica go through a whole bunch of terms in their episode, but the ones that really stood out to me, especially if you're using English in a professional setting or communicating with people from different cultures, are engagement and going viral.
Yes. Those are biggies. Engagement is all about how much interaction your content gets online. You know, those likes, comments, shares. It's like a measure of how much people are reacting and responding to what you're putting out there.
Right. It's like a sign that people are actually listening and connecting with your message.
And high engagement is gold because it means people are interested. And if something really resonates with people, it might even go viral.
Viral. That's the dream, right? When your post or video spreads like wildfire and reaches a huge audience.
It's like a chain reaction. One person shares it, then 10 more people do, and before you know it, thousands, even millions of people are seeing your content.
It's amazing how quickly things can spread online, isn't it?
It really is. And that's why understanding how to create engaging content is so crucial in today's digital world. It's not enough to just post something and hope for the best.
You really have to think about your audience, the message you want to get across, and how to spark those conversations and interactions.
Now, speaking of crafting effective messages, Marco and Erica also talk about the importance of email etiquette, especially when it comes to using the right level of formality.
Yeah, because let's face it, using slang or overly casual language in a professional email can make you look, well, unprofessional.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about striking the right tone and being mindful of who you're communicating with. They even give this hilarious example of someone starting an email to a potential client with, "Hey there,"
Oh, no.
instead of a more formal greeting like, "Dear Mr. and so-and-so."
Ouch. You're definitely not making a good first impression with that.
Nope. Not at all. And it just goes to show how important it is to understand the nuances of professional communication in English.
It's not just about knowing the words, but also knowing how to use them appropriately in different contexts.
Exactly.
Now, get ready for this, because this is the part that really made me think.
Okay.
Cultural differences in online communication. And I mean, we all know that language itself can be tricky, but Marco and Erica point out how even something as simple as a thumbs up emoji can be interpreted differently depending on the culture.
Oh, that's so true. They use it as a perfect example of how easily things can get lost in translation online.
Like, you might think you're sending a positive message,
Yeah.
but in some cultures, that same thumbs up could be considered rude or offensive.
Exactly. It's fascinating, but also kind of scary if you think about it. You could unintentionally offend someone just because you're not aware of the cultural norms in their country or region.
It's like navigating a minefield sometimes.
It really is.
And Marco and Erica only scratched the surface, touching on a few other examples like how humor can be misinterpreted across cultures. But it definitely left me wanting to learn more.
Me too.
It's like there's this whole other layer to online communication that I never even considered before.
I know, right? It
Yeah.
just shows you how important it is to be culturally sensitive and aware of those subtle differences when you're interacting with people from all over the world.
So we've got the essential vocab down, the importance of email etiquette, and a glimpse into the cultural minefield of online communication. But this is just the beginning, folks.
It is.
In the next part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we're going to explore how to put all this knowledge into practice.
I'm excited.
Me too. We'll look at some interactive scenarios from English with Marco and Erica. that will help you apply these concepts to real-world situations.
And we'll dig even deeper into those fascinating cultural differences and how to navigate them with confidence and grace.
So stay tuned, because we're just getting started.
We are! Welcome back, everyone.
I'm so ready to put all this great info into practice.
Me too. It's one thing to know the vocabulary and the concepts, but actually using them in real-life situations is a whole other ballgame.
Totally. So what's the best way to bridge that gap?
Well, English with Marco and Erica actually have this really cool approach.
Oh.
They use these interactive exercises built right into the podcast.
Oh, that's cool. I was wondering about those. What kind of exercises are we talking about?
Well, for instance, they might set up a scenario like, imagine you need to write an email to a colleague in another country asking for a meeting.
Okay.
And then they walk you through the process step by step.
Oh, that's helpful. I bet they make you think about things like how to address the person formally, how to politely suggest some meeting times, and what kind of closing would be appropriate for that kind of email.
You got it. It's not just about knowing the vocabulary. It's about using it correctly in different situations.
Which, let's face it, can be way more challenging.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I might know what engagement means, but actually creating engaging content, that's a whole other story.
Totally. Like, how do you make a post that people actually want to like, comment on, and share? It's like an art form.
And those practice scenarios from Marco and Erica are super helpful because they give you a chance to actually apply what you've learned in a safe space.
It's like having a personal language coach right there with you, guiding you through the process.
Exactly. Speaking of guidance, let's circle back to those cultural differences we were talking about.
Okay.
Marco and Erica share a few more examples in their episode that I think you'll find really interesting.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. What else can trip us up in the world of online communication?
Well, they talk about humor, how humor can be super tricky to navigate online, especially across cultures.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that play out online. It's so easy to misinterpret tone and intent when you're just reading text, especially when you're not familiar with the other person's cultural background.
Exactly. What might seem like a harmless joke in one culture could be totally offensive in another.
It's true. Like, something that makes you laugh out loud might make someone else cringe or feel uncomfortable.
And it highlights how important it is to be mindful and maybe err on the side of caution when it comes to humor in cross-cultural communication.
So, what's the takeaway here? Are we doomed to constantly worry about offending someone online?
Not at all. The key is just to be aware of these potential pitfalls, be open to learning about other cultures, and understand that what's considered funny or appropriate in one place might not be in another.
It's like building a bridge, right? Understanding those differences can help us avoid misunderstandings and communicate more clearly and respectfully.
You got it. And it makes the online experience so much richer and rewarding when you can connect with people from all over the world.
Okay, I'm totally on board with that. So we've got the vocab, we've got the etiquette tips,
Right.
and we're starting to wrap our heads around those cultural nuances. But now I'm curious, what about the future of online communication? What's next?
Well, that's something Marco and Erica actually touch on in their episode.
They do?
Yeah, they get their listeners thinking about how technology might continue to shape the way we interact online. They even talk about the rise of virtual reality and augmented reality and how these advancements could change everything from how we attend meetings to how we build relationships.
Wow, virtual meetings in a 3D environment. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right? It makes you wonder what those advancements will mean for our communication styles. Will we become even more dependent on technology to connect with each other?
Will we lose those genuine human connections? It's exciting and a bit scary all at the same time.
Definitely. But the thing is, Marco and Erica aren't shying away from those tough questions. In fact, they encourage their listeners to really think about them, even grapple with them a little.
Interesting.
They believe that by acknowledging the potential challenges and opportunities that come with these advancements, we can help to shape the future of online communication in a way that benefits everyone.
So it's not just about adapting to change, it's about taking a more proactive role and using our voices to make sure the digital world evolves in a positive direction.
Exactly. It's about creating a digital world that is more inclusive, more respectful, and ultimately enhances our human connections rather than diminishing them.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of online communication. We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have.
Decoding social media lingo, figuring out email etiquette, and even navigating those tricky cultural differences. But now I'm thinking about what's next. How do we actually take all of this amazing information and actually use it to, improve our online lives?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And Marco and Erica really emphasize this in their podcast episode. They don't just want to give listeners knowledge. They want to leave them feeling empowered.
I love that. So it's not just about understanding like the rules of the game online.
Yeah.
It's about being able to play the game strategically and even changing the rules if we need to.
That's a great way to put it. And it all starts with being aware of the trends that are shaping the future of online communication. I mean, they touch on some really fascinating stuff, like the rise of virtual reality and augmented reality.
Oh yeah, those are game changers.
For real. And those technologies could totally transform how we interact online, everything from business meetings to personal relationships.
Wow, just imagine having business meetings in a virtual 3D environment. That's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Right. It makes you wonder, what will all those advancements mean for our communication styles? Will we become even more dependent on technology?
Yeah.
I mean, will we even, lose genuine human connection in the process?
That is a scary thought.
It is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Marco and Erica, they don't shy away from those tough questions. In fact, they want their listeners to grapple with them.
Interesting.
They believe that by really thinking about those potential challenges and opportunities, we can help shape the future of online communication in a positive way.
So it's not just about adapting to change, but also about being proactive and using our voices
Yeah.
to steer things in the right direction.
You got it. It's about creating a digital world that is more inclusive, more respectful, and ultimately enhances our human connections rather than, diminishing them.
That is so powerful. And it really brings us back to you, the listener. I mean, we've explored so much together in this deep dive, but the journey doesn't end here. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
How do you envision the future of online communication?
Yeah.
What role will you play in shaping this ever-evolving landscape? It's something to think about as you navigate the online world.
Absolutely. And remember, you have the power to communicate effectively, respectfully, and meaningfully online. So embrace that power, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time.